So Tara, you already hosted the skin in the game this morning. You're already up and at 'em.
I did, yes. It's a long day for me. I've got pack stuff. I have a meeting. I have a meeting with Patty later as well.
Good.
So got things going on.
Awesome.
Welcome, Patty. Hey, Gwen.
Good morning.
Joe, good morning.
So we are just about right at 9 o'clock here, guys. So I certainly want to be mindful of everybody's schedule. I appreciate you guys taking time today to tap into Empire Masterminds and join us. Obviously, we do this every Wednesday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, and we try to pick different topics that will help excel your business forward. I have had the privilege of being in several mastermind groups and have heard our guest speaker today talk and get us excited about the new and exciting things that we can do with technology. So I'm very, very, very happy to say that we have Tara Roy joining us this morning to share her talents and expertise. I'm going to give you a little bit of information about Tara, in case you don't know. She has a super duper love of houses and architecture, and actually was that typical looky-loo buyer that would come into open houses just to see the house, not necessarily to buy. So after her extensive career in advertising and marketing, she decided to combine her love of houses and marketing and went into real estate. And Tara, you've been in real estate now for 5 years, is it?
That's right. Yep, I'm in my 6th year.
Okay, so 6 years. She's with EXP out of Easton, Pennsylvania.
That's
and
right.
Is just a rock star, and I love listening to all of her knowledge and expertise. So I will, without further ado, hand it over to you, Tara, to help us talk about thumbnails in Canva.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Kelly, for that lovely intro. And thank you, Bruce and Kelly, for having me here. I'm so happy to be here. So one of the things that I love doing as part of marketing is being in Canva. And I know some people don't love it. Some people are like, oh my gosh, Canva, it's so overwhelming. It's so scary. But Canva is really, really easy. And I would say it is the best tool in our Realtor toolboxes to use Canva for our marketing. A lot of people will outsource their marketing, but especially if you're in a program that gives you templates, it's so easy to get in there and rearrange things to make them your own. So one of the things that I've kind of mastered over the last few years is how to create a thumbnail. Now, a lot of people outsource thumbnails, and I personally think outsourcing thumbnails is a waste of money because they're so easy to make, and you can do them in 10 minutes or less. And yes, I did say 10 minutes or less. When you get really good at it, I could probably pump out a thumbnail in about 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, however long it takes. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. So I'm going to share my screen if I have the permissions to do so. And we're going to go through this little prezo that I've created on how to create amazing thumbnails for YouTube's in under 10 minutes. All right, let me just hide these toolbars because everything is, my floating panel is covering everything. All right, so definitely easier than you think. And after I think you see this presentation, which I have given before, I've had people come to me and say, oh, I didn't realize it was this easy. The whole thing about it is that we're going to be following a formula. And once you understand what that formula is, it's like, psh, I get it now. And this is how easy it is. So here we go. 10 minutes or less. I did say it. I'll say it again, 10 minutes or less. So the formula is just 3 simple things. You want to have 3 consistent elements. I have 2 simple suggestions, and then a few easy steps in Canva, and bing, bang, boom, you're going to be able to create your thumbnails. So let's go through the first step, which is 3 consistent elements. Number 1 is your style. So you want to come up with what you like in style. You only have a tiny little square to fill. So you want to make sure that when you're filling that square, that it is going to be bold, it's going to represent you. Remember that people are looking at these thumbnails on their mobile phones. So you want to make sure that they can see what is in the writing and there's not too much crowding the screen. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But let's talk about the style that I've chosen for myself for my thumbnails. I always have a picture of myself. People like to see who you are. They want to know what they're, who they're looking at. So I always have a picture of myself. I always have a textured background. You can see here that I have a brick wall in the background. So it's not just a plain background. It is a textured background to give it a little bit more depth. I always have large words on my thumbnail. So my style is picture, textured background, large words. I always shadow my text just for a little extra pop of color in there. I always personally use all lowercase letters. So even when I'm talking about Center Square Easton, those are proper nouns, those are places. They should be capitalized, but my style that I've chosen for myself is to have everything in lowercase. And then for me, I always flush the text opposite to where my face is. And I always do it every other one when I'm on my YouTube channel. So this one is flush left on the writing and then flush right on the picture. And then I'll do on the next one, I would do flush left on the picture, flush right on the writing, so that when someone pulls up my my full playlist, they'll see a Tara here, a Tara there, a Tara here, a Tara there, and it goes kind of like a zigzag pattern. That's my style. Now, this might not be your style, but once you come up with a style, you want to stay consistent, okay? And I'm going to show you what's next. So in the style, you can see that my color scheme is all very similar. I have a picture, I have my big letters, I have them all lowercase, I have a textured background or something in the background. So you can see one after the other that they all look very similar. All right, so number 2 in keeping with consistent elements is to pick your font and go bold. So again, remember that people are going to be seeing this on their mobile. Most of us are scrolling through on our cell phones when we're looking for things. So you want to make sure that you have something a little bit bold so that your writing can be seen. So here I've just done some screenshots of some different types of fonts that you'll find in Canva. And I've circled Chunk 5, Bukhari script, Intra-Rust. These are all bolder elements that you will be able to be seen, will be able to be seen from a smaller phone. Now, if you look here, Calgary, cool font, right? But you can barely even see it on this big blown up thing that we're doing, or presentation that we're doing here. So that being said, it's not going to show up in a thumbnail when people are looking at your thumbnail. So you want to pick something that's bold that they're going to be able to see. Okay. So this is all supposed to kind of like come in elements. I don't know why Canva's not letting me. It's kind of just throwing the page at you. I'm supposed to be able to circle one at a time and kind of explain them, but we're just going with it. All right. So the way that you can find in Canva a larger, bolder print is you can use this search bar over here on the left-hand side of Canva. I always type in thick or bold, and it's going to show all of the fonts that you can use that are a thicker stature. So you would just go to the left-hand column, search in the search bar. Canva is a very searchable tool, and you would search for a thicker font. And look at all of these choices. And this is, I mean, look, we're only that far down into the list. If you keep scrolling, you're going to see dozens and dozens, maybe even hundreds of different fonts where you can pick a bold font base for your actual thumbnail. Okay.
Just to jump in too, guys, make sure that you're picking one that is readable. Some of those thick, chunky ones are hard to read. So think about that.
You are 100% right. Like Bangers is a little bit squished together here. Bangers is like slanted and it's italicized. It's pushed together. It's smushed. It's not going to be so readable. So you want something that's bold and readable and not too tall. Like Anton is a really tall script. It's also very squished together. So you want to make sure it's readable. Good point, Kelly. All right, the third consistent element that you want to make sure that you pay attention to when you're building your thumbnails is your color scheme. So for Tara Roy Loves Real Estate, you can see this is my color palette. My main colors are this darker gray purple and a gold. And then I have elements of navy blue, a lighter purple, some pink comes into it as I'm drawing some color. So this here is my Canva color palette for my brand. So everything that you saw in the, like, if you look over here, this is all matching that color scheme. You've got the blues and you have the a little bit of gold in there. You have the purple and the pinks come through as well. So you want to stay consistent on your colors. If you're all over the place, your page is going to look a hot mess. So you want to make sure that the three consistent elements again are your style, your font, and then your color scheme. So here we see it again, and these are just little snapshots of a thumbnail. And in Canva, it takes these colors. So there's variations of the color scheme that I just showed you on the slide before in all of my thumbnails. So if you go to my YouTube page, it's going to look very pretty and very consistent. All right, so next we're going to talk about 2 suggestions. Don't be too wordy. Again, remember that people are going to be reading this on a cell phone. So if you can, when you can, and you always can, I promise you, use 3 to 4 words tops in your thumbnail. Okay, don't go 5, 6, 7, 8 words. It's a thumbnail. It's to give them an idea of what your video is going to be about. It's not to tell them about the whole thing. It's not the title of your video. It's not giving them, you know, a synopsis of your video. It's just to catch them and tell your audience kind of this is what it's about. So and I'm telling you this because any title topic can be shortened, anything. So let's look at that. So top 10. Okay, so say over this word here, or this line here, top 10 tips and tricks to selling your home. That's kind of wordy. That is a lot to put on a thumbnail. Top 10 tips and tricks to selling your home. Like I said in the last slide, any title can be shortened. Top 10 seller tips, that's 4 words. Home selling tips, that's 3 words. Seller tips and tricks, that's 3 words and an ampersand. So see how you can take any kind of title and just shorten it down and make it so that on your thumbnail, it's very clean, it's very concise. It gives your audience an idea of what your video is going to be about in 3 to 4 short words. It's going to keep it nice and concise, and it's going to also allow for your thumbnail to pop with those words, and they're going to be able to see them on a tiny little mobile phone. So let's do an example. Which one is more visible on a cell phone? So taking that top 10 tips and tricks for selling your home on that, and I made this small on purpose because looking at it, you know, it's going to be tiny on a cell phone screen. So do you think this is more visible? Or is this more visible? Top 10 seller tips. Look at the difference between the left side and the right side. They're both saying essentially the same thing, but the one on the right is cleaner, it's bolder. You're going to be able to read it easier on a cell phone. Does that make sense to everybody so far?
Yeah,
All right.
definitely jumps off the page.
Yeah, it totally jumps off the page, right? Okay, so let's go on to, oh, there, now it's working. This, okay, so now it's working. Now we're circling this. This is the one, if you didn't catch that already. All right, so the next suggestion is to go big. Big words, big faces, big font. Again, we're looking at this on a tiny little cell phone screen. So make sure that your elements are big and bold. Stand out. You want to stand out from the other people, and you want to make sure again that they're just getting a quick snapshot of what your video is going to be about. So here's another example. In this example, we see a lady standing there. She's tiny. We can't even hardly see her face. She's standing there in Easton, Pennsylvania, and the thumbnail saying, "How much does it cost to live in Easton, PA?" Look at how tiny that print is. Think about that in a little microscopic, you know, tiny little thumbnail that you're going to see on your cell phone. You probably won't be able to see what exactly that says. So which thumbnail is going to stop the scroll? Is it going to be this one, or is it going to be this one where you're seeing the cost of living in Easton? You see her face, you see kind of Easton in the background. It's a lot bolder. The letters are larger, and you can actually see what it's going to be about. So there you go. Look at the left, look at the right, which is a more dynamic thumbnail. Now, granted, the picture of her is a little bit washed out, but it's a much bolder look for a thumbnail. And I think it's going to be, I know it's going to be more attention grabbing when people are scrolling. Okay, so this is the one. All right, so quick recap on those two things we just learned, super easy. 3 consistent elements, style, font, and color scheme. And then 2 suggestions, not too big, or not too wordy, and go big. Okay, so those are so far what we've learned. Thank you very much. Wait, is this over? This can't be over. Okay, all right, it's over. My presentation over, but it's not over because what we're gonna do now is I'm going to show you in live. I'm going to show you live. Hold on. I'm going to stop sharing my screen real quick. I'm going to show you live how to actually build it in 10 minutes or less. Okay. And then I'll open it up for questions and comments and I can help you and we'll go from there. So I'm going to open up a fresh Canva. I did not practice this. So we are going to do this from scratch together and you can time me if you like, but we're going to do this in 10 minutes or less. All right, so here's my Canva screen. Gonna go to home on Canva. When you're in Canva, all you need to do is create a design. And when you're in the design board there, then you're just going to choose YouTube thumbnail. If it's not showing, it shows up for me immediately because I do them a lot. If it doesn't show, you have a search bar up here that you can just search YouTube thumbnail. It gives you the exact size it needs to be so you don't have to worry about the pixelization and what the sizes are. It's going to give you those sizes. So let's go into keeping in mind the elements that we're trying to be consistent with. We're going to let's look for a picture first. Actually, I'm going to set my timer because I want to see how long this will take us, okay? If you're not timing me, I'm going to time us and I'll give you a kind of clock on it afterwards. So I'm setting my stopwatch. Here it is. Going now. Here we go. It's moving. All right, so we're going to pick a picture. Say my avatar for buyers is people coming from New York City. I lived in New York City. I want to bring them here. I want to tell them how easy it is to get from New York City to Easton, what the commute's like. I'm kind of their concierge from big city to small city. So I would go into elements and I would pick New York City. New York City skyline. Let's pick a New York City skyline. You have different elements, graphics, photos, videos. We're going to go into photos. Let's do, ooh, I like this. Let's do Easton nightlife because people in the city like to go out and they like to see like what's going on. So let's pick this picture. It's kind of a dark nighttime sky view here from across the river. I'm going to make this picture a little bit bigger. Now you're thinking, Tara, this doesn't go with your brand because it's black and white. Well, you're right about that. But we can change that, and we can do that by, I'm going to give a little purple hue to this. I'm going to go into elements. I'm going to go into all. I'm going to pick a little square here. I'm going to fill this entire screen. Doesn't matter what color the square is when we're getting started. I'm going to fill that square over the entire screen. I'm going to change the color of that square to purple. Okay, it's going to give a nice purple hue. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change transparency. I'm going to pull back that color so it's a little more transparent. Now you see that my thumbnail picture background, it's nighttime. You can tell it's nighttime, but it has that purple hue, which is going with my brand color. Okay, so see how that's working so far? Now we're going to hit some text in there. Going to add some text, add a heading. And I'm going to say Easton night life. I know that's one word, but I'm going to make it 2 so that it is 3 words on 3 lines. Now, right now, this isn't the font that I normally use. The font that I use is always chunk 5 because it's nice and big and bold. So there we go. I have it in chunk 5. I'm going to grow it, make it big here. Now you're thinking, look at how spread out that is. Well, yeah, it's totally spread out, but we can fix that by going into the spacing and changing the line spacing. So I'm going to pull that a little bit tighter. Now, what happens sometimes on the line spacing is, see how that F is going under that G? We don't want that. So we're gonna get that as close as we want it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the Easton out. We're going to give it its own line so we can pull it tighter together. Oops, what did I just do? All right, Easton's really small there. Let's get it back into that chunk 5. All right, so you want to make sure you have the same size. So this is 140. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. And don't forget too that I like to flush my elements either left or right. So in this case, we're going to flush left. And that's at 100. This is 152. So we want to make this Easton 152. And now we have the same size and I can pull them nice and close together. All right, so I'm gonna actually make this a tiny bit bigger. I'm gonna go to 165 on both of these. All right, so see how this is already coming together, and we're at 4 minutes and I'm giving a tutorial. So see how quickly we can get this all together. Now I'm gonna go into my uploads. I'm gonna find some random picture of myself. These are the houses I've listed lately. Let's see here. Find a picture of Tara, find a picture. Here we go. Let's do this one. All right. So once you have a photo in there, you can do an edit photo and you can choose to remove the background.
Now, some of these things, if I can jump in, Tara, real quick, is if you guys do not have the pro version of Canva, some of these things you may not be able to do, or you may have to just pay for, like certain pictures. You might not be paying for a pro version, but you could pay for the photo to upgrade for that one thing that you're creating. I know, Tara, you probably have the pro version. I do too. So this background remover is included. I don't think it's included if you don't have the.
Let me just tell you that your best investment every month is your $15 Canva subscription. Yes. There is absolutely no reason that you should not get Canva for $15. It's so inexpensive. So take the plunge if you haven't already. It is the best $15 that you're going to spend for, your marketing, your toolbox in marketing for your real estate career. So I'm going to just adjust this picture a little bit here. Maybe give it a little contrast, brighten it up a little bit. I don't know why it's coming out grainy. Are you guys seeing it as grainy on your side?
Mm-hmm.
All right, not sure why that's happening because I'm taking it right from here. All right, let me find another picture. Oh, there it went. It just went back from grainy. All right, so now we have Easton nightlife. We have a picture of the city in the background. Now, all I need to do for my style is to create these letters in a, so I like to do layered lettering so it pops. So what I do is I create the color in the background letters, and then I pick a lighter color or a darker color put on top, whichever makes sense. Because I have a darker background, I'm going to do a lighter foreground. So let me see what pink would look like. There we go. I like
so she's just duplicating the text box and then just changing the color in that second text box.
I am copying and pasting, and then I'm changing the color of the second text box, correct. Now what I do is I then highlight the text box, move my cursor up a few. So I usually do about 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 up and then 8 over to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It just gives it, see how it gives it a little bit of a shadow? Not very much at all. And I'm going to do that with this one as well. Now, I'm not actually liking that pink on there. I don't think it pops enough. So I'm going to go back in and just change it to this creamy color that I like to use from Berkshire Hathaway colors from the good old days. And there we go. It is 7 minutes, 29 seconds. we've created a thumbnail that perfectly matches my style, my colors, my bold, and you can play with this then too. Like I'm looking at this now and I'm like, huh, maybe I can make these even a little bit bigger. Maybe I can go like this and make it even a little bit bigger. You can play with it. But this is super easy. It's going over my face a little bit. Now I'm still not even at 10 minutes yet, guys. So 179, let's go 179 here. See how that looks. You have time to play with it. So you can see I've even just given a tutorial and we got this done in less than 10 minutes. I'm just resizing this. I'm going to put it, oh, I lost my N. Hold on, let's pull that out there. Line these two up. Going up 8, I'm going over 8. Same on this one. And there we go. Still only at 8 minutes and 50 seconds with a tutorial. We have a thumbnail that has all of the elements we talked about. Face, textured background, colors, font size, style of lowercase, and it's ready to go. All I need to do then is download it, which you just do by hitting the share button, go into your download. You're going to do a PNG when you're doing a thumbnail, and that's what you're going to save on your computer, and you're going to then upload it into YouTube as your thumbnail. And I would just hit download, and there you go. And oh, that's funny that this comes up. So this is just a little snapshot over here of all the different thumbnails that are on my YouTube channel, and see how consistent it is. See how it looks really cohesive, and it looks like this is somebody's page, and that I paid attention to the colors and the sizes and the fonts and the readability. Now, every once in a while, look at this one here, Forks Community Park. This one was a little bit tough because the word community is really long and I had to kind of squish it down. You can certainly make changes and adjustments based on what you're doing. I couldn't change the name of Forks Community Park because it is Forks Community Park. That's what it is. So I just had to make a little adjustment there, but still with everything else, you can see kind of like how it all matches, and it looks very consistent. Consistency is your key when you are building thumbnails. So I would like to open the floor for any questions or comments that anybody might have. If I can help you, I would love to do that. So anyone have anything they'd like to ask?
If I could say something, Tara, you used in this thumbnail, you used a picture of New York City. If you could maybe show them, when you had the brick wall, so maybe they don't want to use a photo, but they want some kind of a texture. Maybe you can show them that.
Sure, absolutely. So let me just do a little copy here. I'm just making, so I just pressed a duplicate page. So let's go ahead and change out the background here. First of all, I'm going to grab this square and I'm going to just get rid of it for now so we can get to that picture. So taking that picture, I'm going to delete the picture, and then we're going to look for a texture. So going into elements again, you can choose, the way that I normally would do it is I would say textured background. And then you're going to see in the photos, you can either do photos or graphics. You're going to see all these different textures that you can choose. So you could do something like a little painted kind of textured paint background. There are swirlies, there are misties, there are, kind of foggy elements here. Now, any element that you choose, so say I really like this one, it kind of looks like a sand, it looks like sand, it's just a nice texture. Again, this is a photograph, you can't change the color of it, but you can always do that little square trick that I showed you. So again, the square trick to give your picture the color of your brand is just type in square, make sure you're at all, because what happens if you're at all is you get the lines and shapes up at the top here. If you pick a square, this means that your square is sizable to a rectangle, and you don't have to just have a square. you just fit it over the entire thumbnail, and then you would just pull back that transparency. Okay, now you can see in the background that gives it a nice kind of purple haze. But look at me, I'm also in that purple haze, right? So what does that mean? What do I need to do there? Well, I need to put this square, because I've laid this square over my face, and I've also laid it over the lettering. So the square's on top of everything because it's the last element that I put in there. And so what I need to do is I need to reposition where that square is on the page. So you would just go into position, which is in this little drop down over here. Go to position, and you'll see that I can either put it forward or I can put it backwards. Well, since I'm laying this square on top of myself right now, I'm going to go backwards. And you're going to start to see the elements pop up. So I'm actually not in front of the words, they're in front of the square. But did you see how my face just came out from the purple haze? This is when the purple haze is over me. And if I put it in the background, now I'm popping out. So see how easy it is to kind of take elements and change them. So actually I have a thumbnail file that I just always add to. So easy breezy. Say this is what we decided on. I can duplicate that page, and I can just start to change the elements. So I can change my picture here. Let's take the picture out. Let's say that this time we're gonna do, it's the next one in my series, which in my style means I'm flushing everything to the other side. So let me just get rid of that. I already have my font here, so I would just go ahead and flush everything to the right. I would rename this, let's do a neighborhood Palmer Heights, Easton. Now, when you change things, like this is a little bit bigger, I can pull this in a little bit more with the line spacing. Get that a little bit tighter. Again, this Easton is hanging out on the bottom a little bit. I could pull that up if I wanted to, but I think that looks okay. Actually, no, that's bugging me. I'm going to take out Easton, make another line for it. Change it back into my chunk 5. Gonna give it the color that it was before. And there we go. Scooch that over there. Go in and find a picture of myself. Maybe I want to change this background because we did that sandy one last time. So let's take that out. Find another element. So you can search for all kinds of things. Like say you do want to do a brick wall, just type in brick wall, and then you're going to see all of your options. You can either pick one that already kind of has the colors that you have in your branding, or you can just choose one and do the little square trick. Now, again, I've just put that brick wall over all of the other elements, so I'm just going to position it. And I'm going to put it in the background. All right, so we already have my purple haze there, but say the last one I just did was purple, so I'm going to make this one more blue. Just change that colored square over top, and you can change that transparency as much as you'd like. So if you want it to be a little bit of a lighter blue, just pull back that color a little bit. Change the colors of my words if you'd like. Do a lighter background. Maybe I want to make this one more blue. Copy and paste that. Do blue on the top. Look at how fast and simple this is to pull together, everyone. Easy breezy lemon squeezy. Questions? Can I answer any questions for anyone? Anyone scared of making thumbnails?
Cool. So who do you use to edit your videos?
Well, my professional videos, I use my videographer. He makes them for me. When I do my own videos on YouTube, I usually end up doing them myself. I edit them myself. So for me, guys, I'm a little different, I think, because I do have this background in advertising and technology. So For me, where a lot of people hate editing, I actually really love it because it allows my creative side to come through. I find it relaxing. I enjoy it. It's something that I look forward to. I don't think that's normal. So I really don't think that's normal. But for me, Claudia, I generally do most of my own editing when it's for my YouTube channel.
You do, we,
program
do
do you
you,
use?
what do you use?
Oh, I use WeVideo is my preferred because I think it's very user friendly and I'm able to kind of quickly get in and out of there. But there are so many editing tools out there. You just have to pick one that works for you. I'm a PC girl over a Mac girl. So WeVideo is a web-based platform. So I can use it on anyone's computer. It's easy to get to, and it's what I've liked.
Look at that, super easy.
So easy breezy. And you know, this as I'm looking at this letter, I'm like, oh, it might be covering too much of my face, but you can easily now look. Now you see that consistency as you go from one to the next. I might want to edit this photo, make it a little bit brighter, adjust the coloring, things like that. But
Sarah, how did you take that background out from behind you right there?
How did I do what? Take the background out?
Take the background out from behind your photo.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So let me just get oops. Hold on.
You did it while you were talking. We didn't even
did. No problem. Let me just add a blank page here and show you how to do that. So when you upload a photo, any photo, your photo is on your page, go to edit photo.
Yeah.
While it's highlighted, there's this BG remover. That means background remover. You just wait a couple of seconds while it's doing its thing, and it's going to take out your background.
Wow.
And it's that easy. And it makes it awesome because you don't even have to be in front of a green screen. Now, one thing I want to point out to you guys and make sure that you do, this picture would not be a good picture for a thumbnail. Can anyone tell me why?
Because it cuts off on that one side.
Correct. You always on your thumbnails want to have at least one whole side of yourself. If you only have one side of your shoulder, then you can put the side of your shoulder that's cut off, you know, on the other side, and you can just hide it that way. But yeah, you definitely don't want something floating. Like my hair looks like it's chopped off with a chainsaw. We want to make sure to have like a full, at least one side of ourselves, so we can put it on either side of the thumbnail so that it makes sense. So like right here, the one that we just did before, this picture, my arm is cut off, but I can easily move that out of screen so it just looks like it's meant to be that way. But the other side of my body is showing. So you definitely want to make sure that you have one full side of your body showing. Like this one here. Oops, I deleted it before I got to show you. See how I'm cut off on this side, but this side is a full shoulder. So we edit the photo, take out that background. And then I would just move, and Canva does this sometimes where it looks a little grainy until it kind of settles in. But then I would just, oops. Then I would just move it so that shoulder's off screen. This picture drives me crazy because I have a wild hair sticking up there, but you know what? Doesn't
I didn't
matter.
mean to interrupt you there. The one
No, go
thing
ahead.
too that Canva will allow you to do. So let's say, as Tara said, this time she wants to create a thumbnail, but she wants her picture on the other side. And the picture she has, it needs to be flipped, right? You can go up to flip on the top and you can flip that photo and then
I
it
sure
just
can.
changes it.
And some people don't like to do that because you really do look a little bit different, but I think on a tiny little thumbnail, it doesn't much matter. It may be in your general marketing, but check this out. Boom. See how I look a little different, but no one's really, you can still tell it's me, but I could change it to the other side. Oh, that looks weird. That one looks very different, but you can do that with any. So here's my little dog Smashy. You can do that on any photo. It's gonna take the subject of the photo and remove the background around it. So you can I've even done it with houses where I have a house and I just float the house on a colorful sky background. There's Smashy, me and Smashy hanging out. and see how there's no background there. So it does a really good job for you. Again, a reason why Canva is such a good tool is if for $15 a month, you have all of these tools at your fingertips. Also, if you pay $15 a month for Canva, all of the elements that you have, there's hundreds of thousands of photos, videos, colors, fonts, they're all included in that $15 a month. It is by far the best marketing tool, I believe, for any marketer out there.
Agreed.
Any other
This is great.
questions I can answer?
Tara, this is just brilliant. I just want to let you know that for $15 for Canva a month, when we were first starting in the KMC program, we sent in the videos and had them create their own thumbnails, and they charge us $15 per video. So
For thumbnail?
yeah, for thumbnails.
Yeah.
So if you're doing
Yes.
20, 40 videos a month, I mean, look at the money that it saves just for a little bit of time.
It really does save so much. And once you get into the rhythm of it, I mean, you can pop these out so quickly. I mean, really, I can pop one of these out in honestly like 2 minutes or less, like 10 minutes to start, but 2 minutes or less to just get in the rhythm of it. And one of the things that I encourage you to do is just one day when you're having a good hair day, ladies, or your makeup looks amazing, do a photo shoot where you take your phone and you just set it up on a tripod and you set the timer for 2 seconds and you hit the button and you make a face, do your thing, smile, and you then hit the button again, thumbs up, hit the button again, hit the button again. Like whatever you do, just get them all in line. Do 50 photos at once and then you have them all done. Wear like a plain colored shirt, black shirt, white shirt, just something very neutral, so that you can just use those photos in your thumbnails. You can upload them into your Canva. It'll store them for you, and then you can just go and grab them as you will. Now, you might have seen a picture of a lady, another lady in my photos. So this is a local realtor. Her name is Diana. Love her. She's awesome. She doesn't like Canva. She doesn't want to do Canva. She pays me $25 a thumbnail to make her thumbnail. Like that is a ridiculous waste of money. It takes me no time at all. She offered that amount. I was like, that's crazy, but if you want to pay me that, okay. That is crazy, guys. You can do this in 2 minutes or less. But she doesn't want to do it. I've tried to teach her. I'm like, let me show you how to do this so you don't have to pay someone to do it. She's like, I'll just pay you to do it. I'm like, all right, that's cool. But that being said, save your money and learn how to do this. It is so super duper easy. And it's a fun skill to have too.
Well, and I don't think you have to be super techie. I am not, and I love Canva. And obviously Tara's just sharing one thing that you can do. I mean, you can create your Facebook posts, you can create letterhead, you can create business cards, you can create everything, and they've already have all these templates in here for you. So, obviously we're plugging Canva here, but I agree. It's just a no-brainer.
I mean, what else is there to plug that you can do all of these things on? I mean, it is the it thing. It sure is. And look at how easy and look at how nice those thumbnails come out, right? So simple.
Any other
Hey,
questions?
Tara, we
for
do
Tara?
have, yeah, we do have a question from Gwen. She asked, does Canva offer tutorials also when you upgrade?
So there are tons. They have a library of videos for you to watch. And also, Google is your friend in every situation in life. GTS, I say, Google that. Anything in life you need to know, Google it. You're gonna find how to. And I always go to Google first because it usually will take me to the Canva source. So if you're like, how do I reposition, an element on Canva? Type it into Google, and you're gonna have dozens and dozens of videos that come up, and you're gonna find people too that aren't necessarily employed by Canva, but are Canva geniuses, and they're going to have tons of tutorials on how to do stuff. And that's honestly how I learned Canva in the beginning. I just Googled stuff as I was in there learning how to do different things, or if I wanted to do something like, how do I do this in Canva? Just always make sure you say in Canva, because there are other programs out there that are less superior to Canva, so that you want to make sure that you always say in Canva, so the Google knows that you want some Canva tutorials. Hundreds of thousands of Canva tutorials are out there for you. Yes, you can get trained very easily. All right, any other questions from anybody?
This is fabulous. So much.
You're very welcome. It's my pleasure. Kelly, Bruce, can I answer anything else for you guys, or is there anything else that you would like me to kind of put out there for you?
Nope, I think this is awesome. And I'll just remind everybody that this is recorded. So we post this recording in Empire Mastermind. So if you haven't joined that Facebook group, please do. You'll have access to all the recordings of all great sessions just like this one, because I know it's hard to remember everything when Tara's going through it kind of quick, but now you can go back, review this video, and watch what she's done. So it'll help you build quick thumbnails in under 10 minutes.
Somewhere in here, guys, let me see if I can find it for you really quickly. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen until I find it so you don't see all of the stuff I work on. I have a cheat sheet for you that I can give to you on all of the things that we talked about today, so that when you're building your thumbnails, you can have a little cheat sheet. Let me find it. And I'll show it to you on screen. And then Kelly, I'll give it to you.
Perfect.
There it is. I'm going to give it to you to share with your group.
Awesome.
So this cheat sheet is going to give you everything that we talked about today. So let me make this a little bit bigger. Of course, I made it in Canva. So how to create amazing thumbnails cheat sheet shows you how to follow the simple formula with your 3 consistent elements. Your style representing you, go bold, color scheme, brand colors. Don't be too wordy, go big. And then here's actually step by step everything that we did in Canva to create a thumbnail. 8 easy steps in Canva, okay? So you're clicking on create a design, it gives you the whole thing, and then you want to pat yourself on the back because you just made an amazing thumbnail in under 10 minutes.
So Tara, share that as a PNG to me if you wouldn't mind, and then I'll post that also on Empire as well.
I would be very happy to do that.
Awesome.
So yeah, if you print this out, guys, and just have it by your I'm gonna save that as a PDF for you because it is in a PDF format.
Tara,
All
that's awesome. We will upload this under the files tab on our Empire Mastermind Facebook page. So it'll be there for everybody forever to be able to grab.
Yeah. And thank you, my dear. We so are appreciative
are
of you.
so
You are
welcome.
amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been my pleasure to be here. And if anyone has any follow-up questions, you can certainly always reach out to me. My contact information is at the bottom of that cheat sheet. And you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube. I'm here for you.
Fantastic. Thanks again, Tara. And thanks
You're
you guys
welcome.
for sharing your Wednesday morning with us.
And
Again,
thanks for letting us join.
Thanks
Absolutely.
for having us, Tara. Thanks so much.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
You
All
bet,
right.
everyone.
Have a great day, everybody.
Great
Bye.
job.
Thank
All right.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.